Good evening everybody. I would like to share some interesting facts with you this evening, or certainly I found them interesting and I hope you do too. The first fact that I'd like to share with you is the odds of you being here on this earth with the genetic code that you have from the parents that you have. The odds on that are 5 billion to 1. Now 5 billion to 1, if you put £1 on at the horses at a race, I think you'd be quite happy with the results. I think you've got a nice little windfall. So that leads me on to think, at 5 billion to 1, you're here, you're living your life, and how you live in your life, your two most precious commodities are your time and your energy. Now, your time and your energy, once they're used or gone, that's it, you can't get them back. Now what's interesting about that is 20% of your efforts produces 80% of your results. Wow, 20% of your efforts produce 80% of your results. Now the question then asks, what are we doing with the other 80% of that time? If we're only using 20% and it's producing 80% results, what would happen if we used 40 or 50% of our effort? How greater would our results be then? So my question then is, what are you doing with that time, that other 80%? Wow, what are you doing? Are you playing football? Are you reading the newspapers? Are you watching TV? Are you playing your Xbox? Are you hanging about with people? Are you hanging about with negative people? Are you doing things that aren't serving you that well? You know, are you drinking? Are you taking drugs? What's happening that's causing us to not be more productive with our time and energy in life? Now, I think life's a bit like a game of Monopoly. You come into this world with nothing and you go out with nothing, and you play this game of life, and you can buy cars and you can buy houses and you can buy as many cars and houses as you want, but they're not really yours because they were someone else's before they were yours, and they'll be someone else's once you've gone. So you're just a temporary custodian. You're just a temporary keeper of these houses. So given that you're playing this game of life, then why don't you play a big game? Because that's what I'd like to do, and I think most people in the world would like to play a big game. Who wants to play a small game? So if you want to play a bigger game, you become part of the 2% club, the 2% club of the population of the world. And that's people that have stepped away from the crowd, people that have chosen their own path, and people that have decided they will live the life that they want to live for them, and they'll pursue the dreams and goals that they have using their innate abilities and talents. And I believe that everyone in life has a special ability or talent or something that's very precious to you, something you felt passionate about when you were younger, something that really inspired you. People that have chased their dreams, goals and ambitions with their special talents would be the likes of Steve Jobs, the chief exec of Apple, or Duncan Bannatyne, Richard Branson, Alan Sugar. There's numerous people that have pursued their passions in life. And what happens is when you pursue your passion, it becomes infectious, and the more you pursue it, it's a bit like a snowball. It gathers more momentum, and you move through life with a greater amount of momentum as you pursue your dream and your goal. So I think each and every one of us has a special talent and ability, something you were passionate about, something that you just knew you were good at, something you just loved doing, you have done it for free. But as you move through life in this game of Monopoly, you get caught up in relationships, or you've been caught up in stuff that's not served you that well. I don't like watching the news, I don't like reading newspapers because they don't make me feel good. There's certain people in life that I've had to cut away from because they've been negative. You know, maybe there's been a toxic relationship in your life that you think, you know what, this isn't serving me that well, it's toxic, it's bogging me down. You've maybe moved from the path, fell off the path a little bit, and you forgot about your dream, you forgot about your goal, you forgot about that passionate thing that you just loved doing, that inspired you, and you just felt totally awesome thinking about it and doing it in your earlier days. Well, I'm here to tell you this evening that you can get back on the horse, you can get back in the game, get back in the game of life, the game of Monopoly, and you can play a massive, massive game as big as you want it to be. You know, and if you need to cut away some baggage, if you need to get out some toxic relationships, remove some negative people in your life, if you need to stop doing some stuff that's it's not serving you that well, drink or drugs or whatever, then you know, we've all been there, we've all done stuff that, you know, hasn't served us that well. And what I've found is generally these things take you further than you wanted to go, it'll cost you more than you wanted to pay, and it'll keep you longer than you wanted to stay. And I heard that from an old gentleman many years ago, and I found that to be very true in my life. So I hope there's one or two of you that kind of appreciate where I'm coming from there. So as you move through this game of life, then why not play a big game? Why not play as big a game as you want? Why not play a starring role? Why not be the star in your own movie as opposed to being an extra in someone else's movie? And I'm sure you've all seen it, people that want to be like their best friend, or they want to be in the gang or the group, or they want to be just like someone else, and he's not doing it so I'm not doing it, or she's not doing it so I'm not doing it, or your partner doesn't want it to be that way, or your boyfriend doesn't want it to be that way. Whatever it is, don't be what someone else wants you to be what you want to be, and recognise that passion and goal and that loving and joyous thing inside you that made you beautiful and special and independent, then get back on that horse, get back on that game of Monopoly, and start playing a bigger game and move towards your goals. Because when you move towards your goals, it becomes infectious, it inspires you, and you will grow. And like the snowball, you know, with the more momentum, the bigger you get. And you know, you can bake a pretty big cake in life, you know, as big as you want. But if you're baking with the same ingredients and you're just getting the same cake, well, you're going to continue to get the same cake. So you need to do something different. You need to change the ingredients. Yeah, you need to change the ingredients to get a bigger cake, which means you need to do something different. Because if you keep doing the same things, you'll keep getting the same results. So just to recap, at 5 billion to 1, the odds of you getting here, how are you utilising your two most precious commodities, your time and your energy? If you need to cut away from some negative people, some negative things, stop doing some negative stuff, then do it, make it happen, because it's your life, you're only here the once, and it's a limited time. If, like me, you've lost someone that's near and close to you, then it can be a bit of an awakening. But use that to inspire you, and use that experience to move on to be greater than you know. And you know, if you've lost a loved one, then let their spirit and their candle grow inside you as you move through life, and you can carry them with you. So my question tonight is, are you going to play a small game? Are you going to play a big game? And how big do you want to play? It's as big as you want it to be. You can be the next Steve Jobs, Duncan Bannatyne, Richard Branson, doesn't matter. You can play a small game, you can play a medium-sized game, but if you fell off the horse through illness or injury or a relationship, or you don't think you're qualified, then I'm here to tell you that you can get qualified. You can go back and you can re-educate yourself. You can go back to college, you can go back to school. I didn't do well at school. I had to go back 15 years later and do some stuff again. I'm glad I did. I was more mature now than I was then, and I don't say that to inspire you or impress you. I say that to impress upon you that if I can do it, there's many people out there in the world that have done it, and so can you. So if you need to do some stuff, if you need to go back to some old ground and do it again and make it right, then do that. I served in the military, I come back home, worked in a hotel, in a bar, and I was cleaning plates and working in the kitchen. That didn't inspire me, but I knew I could do that for a period of time where I could move on to something greater. So sometimes you may have to swallow your pride. Sometimes you may have to do something that maybe not as grandiose as you would like, but just remember, it's only temporary, and you can move through life. And as long as you know what your end game is and your goal is, then you've got the map. So if you know where you are and you know where you're going, you can move towards your end game, your goal, your success, whatever it is you need to achieve. So along the way you might need to do some stuff that you think, it's below yours, you think, that's below me, I don't want to do that, it's not really my thing. Swallow your pride, go and do it, because it's only temporary. Life's like a stepping stone. You can step through from step to step and move from one stone to the next until you get to the destination, the prize, the treasure, whatever it is you want to call it. But the beauty is in moving through and going towards your dream, goal or ambition, and as you move through, that success becomes infectious, because when you get to that goal, you get to that dream, once you get there, there'll be something else that you want to do, there'll be something else you want to achieve, because I believe that's the nature of spirit. Your spirit is for further enhancing, further growth and further expansion. So it's just a part of nature, a part of life, as your spiritual growth. So life's like the ocean waves, sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, but just keep moving towards your goal, keep chasing it down, and use your time and your energy effectively. Remember, 5 billion to 1, and 20% of your effort produces 80% of your results. So use your marvellous mind and utilise it, and construct things in a way that are going to serve you well. So I hope you've enjoyed the message this evening. Love life, be epic, and nurture your marvellous mind. Good night.